Hey everybody, this is going to be a playthrough of the C.P4.1 mission from the Georgian Oil War campaign for the Su-25T. Looking in the mission briefing, we've got a late morning mission in the winter. There is going to be like a medium-low cloud layer. It's going to cause light to be pretty low in some places. You do have the LLTV pod available if you need it, although it's probably good enough that you won't need that. Looking at the allies, you've got a couple of Mi-28 helicopters flying around. Looking at the threats, you've got Stinger man pads, you got truck-mounted ZU-23s, and a whole bunch of Gepards. You've also got some AH-64 helicopters and some F-16 jets flying around. Be careful if you're shooting in any helicopters because the AH-64s and Mi-28s will look similar enough from a distance that it can be a bit confusing. If you're not sure, just avoid them. And definitely watch out for the F-16s on your RWR in case they decide to chase you down. They'll be focused on ground units primarily, but they will take a shot at you if they get a chance. Looking at the mission planner, the objective of this mission is to prevent enemy groups from entering 3 objective zones. You can't see them on the map here, but the first one is roughly around here to the west. The second one is just east of the airfield, kind of right in here. And the third one is up in here somewhere. As we highlight the enemy groups that will be advancing on those objectives, you'll see better where they are. So each objective's got 2 groups advancing on it. And the first one is here. We've got 4 IFVs and then a Gepard at the back, and he's ending up here just west of the airfield. Second group is this one here, 4 tanks and a Gepard, also heading out west of the airfield. So the first objective is over here somewhere. The third group for the first group for the second objective really is this one, 4 IFVs and a Gepard heading up just east of the airfield. The fourth group and the second one for that objective is 4 tanks and a Gepard, also heading east of the airfield. And the last 2 groups heading to the third objective are this one here, again, 4 IFVs and a Gepard, heading up here just south of this river, just past this fork in the road. And then this one here, 4 tanks and a Gepard, similarly just past the fork of the road south of the river. So if we look at the objectives on the satellite view, it's a little bit easier to see what's going on. So they'll be winding up through these roads and overland through Ozergeti. So just east of Ozergeti, you'll see, if you're looking east from Koboleti, it'll be kind of really the only big cluster of city here. Just on the east side of that, you'll be able to spot this fork in the road. So if the enemies make it all the way there and you need to clean them up at their objective, you'll just be looking east of Ozergeti past the fork in the road and kind of looking for those units there. For the second objective zone, kind of moving backwards here, we're looking east of the Koboleti airfield. So the first group, or one of the groups, is going to end up east of this city, just east of the airfield, and the other group is going to end up just kind of west inside this little nook here. Initially, you'll see the friendly groups of units here. The enemies are going to displace them if they can, so you'll definitely want to be careful about what you're shooting at. For the first objective zone, again, moving kind of backwards, that second group is going to end up right near these little puddles, or I guess they're going to look bigger than puddles, but these bodies of water here, and the first group just north of it. Other stuff you're going to want to be aware of in the area when you're going after this first group on the west here, there's a Gepard that may or may not spawn kind of in this little nook here. So you'll look for this little bit of this little turn in the line of village and then check that area to see if that Gepard is there. You've got a bunch of Gepards with some of the stationary groups. So you got like a tank group here. It's got a Gepard with it, potentially another one here. There's one back here. They're kind of all over the place. You'll probably stay north enough that these won't be much of a threat if you do your job right. On the east side, you've got Manpad here, Gepard here, and then as well as like there's some artillery and command and control groups kind of all through here. These all have Manpads and potentially Gepards with them as well. Again, you're going to probably stay far enough north to stay out of range of all that stuff. The overall plan, we're going to take off out of Sanaki, kind of hook west along the water and line up on this long string of villages. So as you're heading west, you're going to see this big lake here, and that won't be where your target is, but once you know you're south of that, you're looking along the water, you get this long string of villages here, and find the road that runs all through there along the coast. You'll probably see these stationary units. You don't need to be concerned with those, but you are going to want to check for this Gepard if you remember, and kill that if you see it. And then after that's done, you're going to want to attack this road group. You're going to want to kill that Gepard first because they're pretty mean, and then Once you've done that, this group's going to want to scatter. Some of them may scatter into the trees and the buildings where you can't really see them. So kill as much of this group as you can. If you kill all of it, great. If not, you'll have time to come back to it. Once you've done what you can there, kind of head back north, loop around to Kobuleti. Once you're over or near Kobuleti, heading to the west, if anything, you're going to find this little bunch of trees here, this kind of bigger cluster of trees here, and then this little village back here. Those three kind of make a nice straight line. This first group's going to kind of come right up in the middle of this middle group of trees, and then through this little group of trees. So you're probably going to be able to catch them somewhere in this area down here, or maybe up in here. Either way, not too hard to spot them. There'll be black specks on the white snow, so a pretty good contrast to spot them with. Again, kill the Gepard first, um, and then take out as many tanks as you can. You should be able to kill this whole group. They should be in the open. There's a good chance they'll probably just keep moving after you attack them, so there is some time pressure to kill those guys. All through this, you're going to be careful with your wingman. You may consider just anchoring him off to the north until you've killed a bunch of the Gepards. If you choose to use him right away, just make sure you target a unit on your squall and then direct him to attack your target. You don't want to just tell him to attack everything because he'll probably fly around attacking all the anti-air and get killed pretty quick. There are a lot of targets to kill in this mission, and you may or may not get a lot of help from the ground units on your side, as well as the friendly air. So there's a chance that if your wingman dies early and your friendly units are getting slaughtered, then you may have to go home and rearm and refuel and come back and kill everything else. The trick is to kill these first two groups before they reach either of them reach their objective. At that point, you can't get the mission failure text from groups entering objectives. You will see some text for the other groups entering their objectives, but you won't fail the mission. And then once you've done that, then you can just take your time and clean up the rest of the 6. In order to get the mission complete text, you have to kill all 6 groups. So once you've killed those first 2, or once you kill that second group, if you hadn't killed that first group, loop back around and watch the road. There's a good chance any remaining units will be on the road and you'll get another shot at them. Just kind of keep repeating that cycle until you've killed both of those groups completely. Once you've done that, you can kind of start doing racetracks across the north. You want to stay pretty far north so that you're out of range of all the man pads and the Gepards. And then just start looking for these other groups. You're going to want to study this map before you play the mission to get pretty familiar with the area. But there is a lot going on here. It's easy to get disoriented. So just take your time. Don't get too aggressive. Find these groups as they head north and do what you can. Watch these friendly groups near where the objectives are, because as those enemies get closer, if they're having a lot of success, then you'll start seeing these friendly groups get destroyed. And then eventually the enemy groups will kind of replace them. So if that happens, if they get that far, then just be really careful about what you're shooting at. You can look at the units and kind of figure out which way they're facing. If they're facing south, they're probably going to be friendlies. If they don't look like tanks, IFEs, or Gepards, then they're not. Then they're enemies. So if you're seeing stuff like fuel trucks and things like that, don't shoot those. Those will be friendlies. Just depending on how well your friendly groups do, the enemy groups may not get very far, or they might get all the way up into their objectives, and you'll have to clean them up after they get there. These middle 2 groups are kind of hard to see. They're kind of winding through the trees, especially this one here. I'll switch it back to this map. It's a little easier to see the route. So do what you can. This group here, if you can catch it on the roads, it's not on the road for too long, but it takes routes pretty well through pretty open areas. You might be able to spot them. So just come at them from the north. Give yourself plenty of space. Take your time looking at the pod. Once you get a little too far south, kind of over where the friendly positions are, if you haven't spotted any enemies at that point, just turn around. So just keep repeating all that until all the enemy groups are destroyed, either by you or by other friendly units. At that point, you'll get the mission complete text. You can head home. All right, start the mission. I'm gonna head out to the west and attack those groups heading on the road along the coast on the west side. You can see that strip of towns along the water there. That'll be where the first group is. Start looking around with the pod. Alright, we got the stationary groups there. That looks like the road group that hasn't started moving yet. Just keep an eye on that. We'll try to kill the Gepard at the back first. Got the Koboleti airfield there. And we've got those two little airways that make an X right there. It's good landmarks. Still stationary. Gepard should be at the back there. I'm gonna anchor my wingman here for now. Alright, looks like they're moving now. Alright, I've got a lock on the Gepard, just waiting for range here, start diving in. And start turning away slowly. Alright, he's dead. The other ones are scattering along the road. Forgot to check for that Gepard that could be just out in the field there, but I think right about there at the corner is where we'd see him, and I'm not seeing anything. Yeah. So I'll come back around and get rid of the two TV-guided missiles. These are pretty heavy. Then depending on whether I can see anything else, we'll try to find that second group that's going to that first objective in the west. They'll be somewhere over there right now. Also keeping an eye on the RWR in case there's F-16s flying around. Okay, I think this is one of the road group here. He's not in a nice line like the other ones. Then we'll be able to get a second one here, one back there, and I'm not seeing the fourth tank. That's okay. Alright, all three of those are destroyed. We'll go look for the second group. See some units there, but not sure if they're part of the stationary group or the mobile group. I think I see one of the mobile groups back there. That's probably it. Get a little closer to Kovaleti, come back around and attack those guys. So it should come through those group of 3 little chunks of trees there from that area over there. So right in between we should find them. Yep, here they are. This looks like the good part here. Just wait for range, then we'll fire on him. There we go. Start turning away. And we'll watch what happens with the other units, whether they keep moving or scatter in place. It's like they're just going to keep rolling. So at this point I can risk using the wingman, so I'll call him back to me. There they are. So I'll get a lock on one, send the wingman in on him, take the westernmost one, try to keep him away from the other guepards, and I'll attack at least one other. So I sent the wingman, take this one. Should be probably one more tank in that group that we need to address. Alright, there's that last tank. I'll just send the wingman in on him when I get a lock. I'll head back over to the west and try to see if the last tank over there is on the road yet. Alright, there's the lock, send the wingman. Yep, there he is on the road. Okay, wingman got hit. Not sure if he killed that last tank, so I'll have to go deal with it. And then depending on how well the other friendly units do, I may have to go rearm to complete this mission because there's a lot of groups left. I think those are friendly tanks there. So I don't think I'm gonna have to deal with that last tank in that second group. Yeah, I think I got 2 fireballs in the back, and then 3 more in the front here. That should be that group dead. So the next group would be kind of coming along the edge of the big cluster of trees there. I think I see them on the road. Yeah. Get a little bit more distance here. They're in the trees right now. I don't want to take a shot at them while they're in there. I'll have to come back around. I think that little clearing just to the left of the city there, that's where the third objective is, so the 2 more groups that'll end up there. Alright, they're getting attacked. This looks like a Gepard, probably. Take that. That may be destroyed now. Yep. I think that group's probably toast. Friendlies are doing well. Which just kind of depends on which of the random spawns on the red side we get. I haven't seen any helicopters or F-16s flying around, so might have got lucky here. There's another group for the second objective that kind of goes through the woods. It's going to be pretty tough to find them until they pop out. So I may just head further east, try to see if those groups going to the third objective are still on the road. So they'll be kind of worming their way through the villages and all that, popping out right in here. See that split in the road, kind of center screen. That's the end of their routes. That's right where the objective is. Probably still got a fair ways to go on their route. So I'll have to trace the road back with the pod and try to find them. Those are friendly units, so gotta look a little further. I've gotten a little disoriented, need to get some space, reset here. Alright, that's the objective. I think since I saw those friendly units, that just means the enemy groups haven't rolled through that area yet. Alright, so we'll look forward of that. That looks like there's one of the groups probably pretty well destroyed. Might just be in a wait and see game. The friendlies might be mopping everything up for me. Looks like that guy's still alive, but he's not one of the units I need to kill. We got a road group there still moving, so I'll kill this Gepard. Looks like the tank or IFV or whatever's in that group is pretty well damaged, maybe just got destroyed. Not sure I'm going to get to this before they get to the trees, but we'll see.
Fuel 1500.
I'm a little concerned about what I might be flying over, but it seems like the friendlies are doing a good job cleaning everything up. See some dots along those power lines back there, but I'm not sure if that's what I just killed or not, so we'll come back around and look at that. Looks like those friendly groups are still okay. Alright, those are dead. Not sure what that is, but I'll wait until it starts moving. It's probably part of the stationary group. I don't see anything moving there. I'm watching for this group here to get attacked, as well as that group there. Those are friendlies. The second objective, the groups for the second objective would be destroying those guys if they were successful. I don't see anything moving. Oh, there they are. Maybe. Can't tell if those are alive. I'll come back around and take a look. Kind of off the edge of the corner of the airfield, through this little village, and then a little bit to the right. That's where we should find them. Got 8 more missiles, based on what I'm seeing, but probably be enough. Got the little strip of villages off the corner of the airfield there, we'll follow that back. These guys here, those actually are pointed like they're friendlies, so I'll leave them alone. Come back around and take a look there. That looks like it could potentially be a hostile formation. Can't tell if it's moving. Kind of padlocking on the edge of that village there. Oh yeah, those are hostile. Okay. Getting a little close. Compar's a little scary, but start turning away from them now just to be safe. Alright, got a nice smoke there. Come back around and look forward of that. I'm guessing those guys will just keep moving. There's the smoke. Yeah, the kit moving. Slow it down. It's not really going to be any anti-air threat now that I killed that Gepard, so I can get pretty slow and be aggressive here. They're pretty far from where they started in any of their friendly units. That was a miss. got 2. There should be 2 left. They're getting close to the friendlies. About 800 kilograms of fuel. Probably ought to start thinking about heading home to refuel and rearm if these 2 aren't the last that I need to kill.
Fuel 800.
to 105. The enemy has managed to reach its second objective. Mission success.
Alright, we'll head home.
Enemy advancing forces have been destroyed. You may continue to engage targets of opportunity or RTV. Out.
Bingo fuel.
That's the airfield there.
Fuel 500.
Заруливайте на стоянку.
That'll do it.